Hello, today I have a message called A Decision to Heal. Okay, so the short version, healing doesn't require time. Healing requires a decision to heal. The understanding that you don't know how to interpret anything is the beginning of wisdom. Ego pretends that its interpretations are real and they are about real things. Remember that there is nothing to fight with. Your divine siblings can see you and be glad that they are one with you. Okay, so back to healing doesn't require time. Healing requires a decision to heal. At the same time, there is a recognition that we're still going to perceive time until we don't anymore. So time gets repurposed. The purpose of time becomes it's something dedicated to healing. So at the same time as that, though, healing requires our decision to heal. It's not like it actually takes time to happen. It's more like when the mind decides to heal the body, when it has clarity, it heals the body. So that's how we're looking at it. Healing doesn't require time. Healing requires a decision to heal. And it's more than saying the words, I decide to heal. It's looking out for places where we're blocking healing. So anywhere I don't feel good, anywhere I feel worried, anywhere I feel fearful, is where I'm taking those things that seem to cause me to have an experience of not being emotionally or physically healed, and just taking a moment here. Okay. I can feel those things as I go through my day. The things that would block the experience of being completely emotionally and physically healed of any discomfort at all. any awareness that anything seems off at all, emotionally or physically. That's where I've decided that healing's impossible. That's where I've decided that there's something here that is real that would block that healing, and I'm treating it as real. So the thing that's being circled, underlined, italicized, highlighted is the belief that these things that would prevent healing are real. They're not, and Spirit can bring in experiences to help us see that they're not. So we open the door to those. We open the door to all the experiences that are going to help us get our heads on straight and see that there's nothing blocking allowing the mind to heal the bodies. All of the bodies it sees. You don't just have to think in terms of your own. It's a huge, huge thing. And it doesn't matter how unrealistic it seems to an ego. An ego is going to list off all these reasons that's a ridiculous idea. That's why you should listen to Spirit. When ego is saying Spirit is ridiculous, that's when you should listen to Spirit. Okay. The understanding that you don't know how to interpret anything is the beginning of wisdom. So any of these blocks to healing that I think are here in time and space and that I believe are real, let's say somebody's has a diagnosis of a condition and they say that's that and there's nothing you can do about it and it's always going to be like this. We don't know how to interpret anything here. Nothing we see here is real. We made all of it up, and its primary quality is nothingness. Its primary quality is not somethingness. So it doesn't even have the ability to block healing. Nothing of time and space has the ability to block healing because it's just perception. It's just perception of the mental, emotional state. It's just perception of a body. Does that body look like it's been harmed or beat up or injured in any way by the world, by experience? Yours or anybody else's. It's a way of looking. It's a way of being willing to see. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's coming through me and I'm listening as it's coming through me. So the Julie character would not insist on any of this, but I'll go back and listen, and I always take it in and say, okay, yeah, I'm starting to see something there, and I can let that soak in. So in terms of You're having the experience of being the Julie character. The things I'm saying, I'm listening to too. And sometimes I'll think, well, that seems kind of big or ambitious. We're going to heal all the bodies. What, right now? But you can see how I would try to hold that back because it doesn't seem realistic. So anywhere we would try to hold something back. Spirit knows what it's doing. Spirit knows how to use our perceptions, how to correct them very gently. Spirit knows how to use time very gently. And Spirit, the one who uses all these illusions very gently, who corrects them from an illusion lacking peace to an illusion that reflects peace. It's still an illusion when it gets corrected. A healed body is still an illusion, but it's one that we've allowed Spirit to use. And the one who suffers and worries and says this is not possible, and the one who seems to experience things that calls bad, that's not Spirit. So we don't have to worry about what that one is saying is possible and not possible. We don't have to worry about that one. That's not any of us. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back over it. The understanding that you don't know how to interpret anything is the beginning of wisdom. Well, this makes me like a baby, and I think somewhere in the Bible or in A Course in Miracles it says you become like a child. And you really do have to become like a child. If you don't understand anything ahead of time, in every moment you have to be led. You have to be told what to do. You have to be given every word to say. And as you start discovering this portal through which everything you do and everything you say can just be given to you and can flow through you without effort, then there's no need to understand anything. Spirit can take anything you believe you understand and use that very, very gently. Like, I know how to drive a car, or I know what a house is, or I know what a burrito is. Or Spirit takes anything we believe is real and anything we believe we understand and uses it gently on behalf of the total healing and restoration of all. And that's all we need to know. We just need the faith and the trust and the willingness. Ego pretends that its interpretations are real and they are about real things. So when ego's going on and on and on about what you're stuck in, or what terrible thing is coming, or what's not possible for you or someone else, all the blocks, all the places you're stuck, that's not you. That's not me. It's insisting multiple things are real that can't ever be real. So if we could stop many times a day for a reality check and just listen to that voice, insist, this thing that can never be real, I'm saying it's real, and I'm saying it's coming for you, it's going to get you. I'm saying it's coming for this other one, it's going to get them. I'm saying it's blocking your healing now. I'm saying it's blocking your well-being and your happiness now. That's not you. That's not me. The one who would insist upon that is not either one of us. It's this crazy voice we made up. That's all part of the illusion we wanted, and we still want. If we didn't still want this illusion, we would not be experiencing it. So it's always a moment to level completely with yourself and to remind yourself, I'm still experiencing this illusion because I still want it, and I think I can get something out of it. Even so, Spirit's here to help me very gently through and out of it. And if Spirit is here to help me, Spirit's here to help everyone. Very gently, very kindly, with enormous amounts of love and wisdom through and out of the illusion that we made. The perception of it. It's the perception that gets corrected. You remain you. You just start to remember and be aware of you as you are more than the ego character you think is you or the ego character you think is someone else. You start to remember and be aware of that being who seems to be someone else as they are, more than as the character they seem to be playing, the personality that character seems to have, or the body, the predictable patterns you think that body follows, of that one you think is other. This remembrance and awareness of the thing, us, that which is completely joined, not able to be separated and chopped up into separate bits. the remembrance and the awareness. It comes and it expands and it's here. And I couldn't be talking to you about it if this weren't so. And you wouldn't be able to listen to it if this weren't so. Okay. Let's see. Remember that there is nothing to fight with. I like the way this is put because I can see it two ways. There's no opponent, there's no one and nothing for me to fight with, and there's no weapon. I'm not using a stick to fight with to beat something back. I have imagined any opponents in any battles. I have imagined any weapons, anything I think I can use to beat something off. This battle state is what I'm asked to look at, and this battle state is what I'm invited to relax out of, and then in remembrance and awareness to see there's something here that can help everybody, truly help everybody. So there's nothing to fight about, nothing. What I invented is a whole bunch of nothing, and it's not a true threat to any of us. We've been experiencing threat because we want it. I can only experience threat when I want it, so it's good to have these moments of being very honest with myself and taking responsibility for my feelings and my experience. Nobody I can call else or other is responsible for that. Just me. I'm in charge of that. That's very empowering. That makes me able to accept the power, the full power that's here for everyone and everything, is if I take full responsibility for how I feel and for the experience I'm having. Nobody else has responsibility for that. It's 100%, because each one of us is that one I. You wouldn't give it to somebody else because we've imagined the somebody else's. There is nobody else. There's just the one of us, and you might be looking at it from the perspective of this character or that character or the other character, but the thing you can be sure of is the being you are is the same as the being you're looking at. And that being's responsible, no matter what its perspective, no matter what peephole it's looking at this invented world through, and whether it's the Julie peephole or the put your name on it peephole. What am I looking at this world through? It doesn't matter. It's just the one of us. And we're responsible for how we feel. And we're responsible for the experience we have. So bringing it home that purely, that much, that 100% to that point is what gives each one of us all of the harmonic power all of us have right now. Remember that there is nothing to fight with. So during the day, we're walking through our crazy dream, and things are going to come into our sight, our awareness, that seem to be real. Remember, we're having a bad dream, and it seems like those are things we would need to fight against, or things that are going to fight with us. And if we can take as many sane moments as we can to realize we have invented the adversary. And if we treat it as real, we stay in our craziness. So if we want to relax out of our craziness and be guided by the sanity that all of us share, then we will be seeing that sanity that all of us share expressed through all of us together. And this seems impossible. If you seem to be in a place where there's a lot of division, that seems impossible. How could a shared sanity be expressed through all of us simultaneously when there's so much division apparently right now? Well, why don't we find out? Why don't we engage in many reality checks throughout the day and find out what can happen when we allow the sanity that we all are to extend through everyone and everything we see. When we finally acknowledge what is most real about all of us, and we stop playing dress up, and we stop playing pretend. We can stop that and try something different. Okay. Your divine siblings can see you and be glad that they are one with you. I'm not saying an ego that you're projecting out there in fear. I'm not saying a body. I'm not saying a character. I'm not saying a personality that you think has predictable patterns. I'm saying the being, your divine sibling. You can see your divine siblings. You can see anyone or anything's beingness. You might see a symbol of that with physical eyes if you see light or glowing. But I'm talking about inner vision, you can be aware of and remember the purity of the beauty they are. It's anything or anyone you would look at as separate. And it doesn't matter what story is layered upon them right now. It really doesn't matter. You can remember what they are underneath any story you've put on top of them. And you can be glad that you never separated, that it was only a bad dream. Your divine siblings can see you and be glad that they are one with you. So instead of expecting what we would call bad things from our divine siblings, we can take a moment and remember their abilities, because your ability is their ability. And abilities can be communicated very powerfully in the mind. We share one mind, so it's not hard to communicate in the mind. You don't have to speak words, although you may, and you don't have to do physical actions, although you may. But from right here, you're just going to see their abilities. They're able. As beings, they are able. They can see you with vision, not necessarily with physical eyes. They can be aware of and remember you as you are, not as the body you call yours, not as the personality you call yours, not as the character you call you, as a being, as a being. They have the ability, every one of them, whether it's a thing or a person or a condition even, all of them have the ability to truly see you. I know that seems strange to think of, like your water bottle can truly see you and you can truly see your water bottle, but it doesn't make it untrue, even if it's strange to hear. Something in that resonates with a shred of memory you have about who you really are, and a shred of memory that you have about who and what everyone and everything is. If they're all just one piece, they haven't drifted apart. I was helping my daughter study for a test last night. It was about continents drifting. Okay, not that. No one's drifted apart. We're still together. And there's a shred of a memory in me and you and everyone and everything and every idea. There's like a bright spark in the middle of it. It can't die. What I'm saying resonates with that. No matter how silly it would sound to any ego, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how any ego would judge that. It doesn't make it untrue. Everything the ego deals in is untrue, or it can't be ego. But what you are, which is a challenge for words to talk about, but they can point in that direction, that has to be true, eternally true, with no opposition from something false. The false of ego can cover it up temporarily. And now we're about allowing it to be uncovered. And knowing that the ego doesn't understand it, but knowing that's what we are, and that's a very safe, benign, and loving power, and we can allow it to extend everywhere, through everyone and everything. So this is our time. Use gently in the hands of spirit to kind of stretch and wake up and blink, and I'm using body metaphors, and realize, oh, I've been doing this myself. I have done this thing, and it is this I would undo. I've been holding back and limiting and distorting, and it is this I would undo. I would allow love and light to extend now. So we're all here in the same position, and we can decide to heal. Okay, thank you. Happy healing.